Roundup. Hey, operator. I got you, man. It's really rough and tough out there now.
Hello, operator 45. I got you up here in the volcano crater. Hello again, quarter wave Dave, Sparky, 441 countywide radio with the gate rolling on classic radio roundup.
Countywide again. Yeah, good to hear you on the bird. 44, Spitfire, and operator. Hey, Spitfire, there's a 441 on the eBay right now, $39.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to let it slide. There'll be another one. I got other irons in the fire at the moment.
You know what though? They don't come up as much as the other one. Looks like the same radio.
Yeah, the 440 with the analog dial. The 441 is digital, but it's otherwise the same radio. Yeah, I've noticed that too. The 440s come up more than the 441. And, you know, as much as I'd like to have one again, it's still not going to be mine, you know. I had that one since 1981, and then it got 05'd.
Literally, how about that? Well, I'm on my Royce 642 base station, and just put some ferrites on everything that was connected to it, and lo and behold, it works.
Yeah, it sounds choice. It's doing a good job. I thought I'd get on something with a little bit of behind to it. Cobra 142 GTL, my modern classic. This is like the newest CB radio I have.
10-4, sounding good.
Yeah, I'm on an static handheld D104. I have one of those Echo mics, handheld diesels, that sounds pretty good on it, but my mic connector kind of must have pulled apart. Keys up, but I can't get no audio out of it.
Yeah, I think Ron just let one of them diesel mics go.
Fool around with the wire at the end of the connector, it'll get audio out of it, so I'm just going to cut it back and resolder, I guess. These things will happen. You know, if you don't use them, they'll break. If you use them, they break, so it doesn't matter. Hi, Minnie. Gonna be tough to have any kind of local talk on Classic Radio Roundup tonight.
That's alright, we'll just keep it rolling then. We'll keep it rolling. Yeah, I saw some nice radios on the bed. I just happened to be looking because I was at the airport. You know how that goes. Sitting, waiting, hurry up, wait. Kind of waiting in between to see if I hear anyone.
I understand about the hurry up and wait. Sitting there killing time, might as well do a little window shopping. I do that too. I've been looking for stuff like a modulator. I've been looking for some of this antique junk. You know, I've been looking for like just modulators or coils for my James Mill, and I'm trying to be a little bit specific.
Yeah, pretty much anymore. The folks know what they got. They researched it, they Googled it, you know, maybe back then ways they didn't Google their own stuff. But now they sort of know what they have. And it's pretty much, you can get one, but you're going to have to wait in line. Like, how bad do you want it before the 10 people in front of you want it?
Yeah, some of the stuff that I've been looking for is not, you know, it's sort of specific, you know what I mean? And I've been looking at this one modulator that just popped up. It needs to be reworked kind of thing, but I'm just looking for a sort of a platform for my home brew radio instead of reinventing the wheel. Kind of, I don't know. I'm just sort of kicking ideas around if I can get one cheap enough. I just want some of the parts.
Yeah. Well, speaking of modulators, there was a Demco on there. Nice setup with the modulator, speaker. Wasn't the super satellite though.
Yeah. Yeah, when I say modulator, it means a whole different thing when you're talking about these boat anchors. It's actually the modulation section. Nothing more than the modulation section and sort of a TR relay for switching voltages over. But it's the part, you know, that you modulate, and that goes to the plate of the final. Like the James Millen kind of radio, it's not. You have your oscillator and amplifier, but then you have to add the actual modulation section to it.
Well, that's kind of nice because you don't necessarily have to use their unit, right? You could use someone else's that did the same thing.
Yep. All I have to have is enough audio watts to drive the amplifier stage on a high level plate. So it's a 100-watt amplifier. Basically, I need about 50 watts of audio.
That's right. Audio on the classic radio roundup.
But that's the cool thing with these old kind of assemble radios is, yeah, you can use sort of any kind of tube configuration you want to get the audio level that you need.
Yeah, I'm running this one back quite a bit there. If I turn it up though, it just gets a little crunchy. Yep. Yeah, that's the line right there. Not to change the subject, but did you see, I guess you didn't see on the news, I think it's the governor of Georgia signed that gun bill?
No, I didn't, but I didn't think we were going to go political so early in the game, but let's have the details now since you opened the bag.
Well, I didn't want to go political. It's more or less where he signed a bill that you can carry a gun into different places, churches, restaurants, and other places like that. And as long as they don't have a sign there that says no gun permitted, you're legally allowed to carry it. Amen.
Amen, brother. It's about time we got some pro-gun legislation.
So that's not really political, I don't think. It's more or less just a statement that was on the news.
Yes, a keep the public informed public service announcement.
I figured you'd be interested in something like that. That's why I said it right now, before everybody else ties it up.
I did a little research. Some point this year I'm riding my bike out to San Diego and back, and I was doing some research, and in all the states I'm going through, I'm going to do a nice big round robin, and all the states that I go through in this entire country, my concealed carry permit is good in all of them except for California, which is no surprise, Maryland, which is no real surprise, New Mexico, that's a surprise.
And forward.
So what good is that pistol that I need in New Mexico when I get attacked and it's unloaded and locked up?
Gun parts. What's legal and what's not legal.
Yeah, well, we doubled. And my question was, what good is that gun going to do me when I get mugged and it's unloaded and locked up?
And forward. And when I said that, they had a show, I don't know if it was Nightline or what the other night, about gun parts. This guy sells different gun parts, which is legal. They're trying to make it illegal, but as long as it's a certain way, it can be sold and people can buy parts and make their own gun. They don't have to have serial numbers or nothing on them.
I don't think that's entirely true. You still have to register the upper receiver, which does have a serial number, but all the rest of it you don't. You could buy all kinds of parts and build your own, but I still believe the upper receivers have serial numbers on them.
Well, that's what they were getting into, talking about that. As long as it don't have a hole drilled in at a certain spot, they can get them and drill their own hole in it and be legal.
10-4 on the workaround.
They have carbon fiber stocks now, right?
Oh yeah, stocks.
I wonder if they could make that receiver and stuff out of carbon fiber with some inserts. That would be pretty cool.
I don't know, I imagine it's possible. They've already made 3D weapons. It's all plastic with the 3D printer.
They were talking about that in another show, about that stuff. They said they don't hold up. You fire them a couple times and that's what they're done for.
Yeah, that may be so. Go look, Google it on the, or go research it on YouTube, and you'll find a guy who put over 1,000 rounds through it.
And well, that's something then.
In fact, you can watch him put 1,000 rounds through it right in his video. On Classic Radio Roundup, 27115 on your AM radio dial. Where the heck is Sandbagger?
Sunday. I don't know. Conspicuously absent?
Yeah, that would be my assessment of the situation. Well, at least we got, a few of us here can chat locally, so it's not killing us completely.
You had Valley Forge in there and could hear. Yeah, Ron's got a nice new tool in the tool chest. Does it help him to hear or just get out?
Ron's pretty good at the former, not so good at the latter.
Forward. Yeah, I think Pico helped him out, so that was cool.
Yeah, it was a whole lot worse before. Yeah, you could hear Ron, but Ron couldn't hear you unless you're running a kilowatt.
Was that you, Ron? Alright, there it is. He's testing it out. I just barely heard you. I've been hearing like Louisiana, not just Texas, so maybe it'll swing up and we'll get to hear Night Ranger one of these nights. That sound like the speed radio there. Is that on? Spitfire? Did anybody try to sign in?
Hello, Dr. Hammer. Yeah, nobody's actually on Spew, but Dr. Hammer's in on the Kenwood.
Audio. No audio.
The audio and plenty of it on my side. I don't know about further away from my house. But I hear you, Hammer.
Evening, Doc Hammer.
Hello, gentlemen. Hey, Pete. Now the indicators are doing something weird. Huh. That's strange.
Well, if they're doing something weird, I don't know what it is, but it seems to be working out all right here. I do have the attenuator on. had your power down and the attenuator on, so you might be all right now. Old big Longhorn Texas trying to get in here.
I don't know who's out there, man, but I think maybe you loud and clear. I don't know what you're doing, but Mother Nature's throwing something right at you there. And you hit it right over the ball.
Talk to him, Pete.
I think you're working good now, there, Dr. Hammer. I think you're working good. Give Sparky a shout, see if things are all right.
Sparky's shop. I corrected. I got that correct. Sparky's shop. 318 channel way the hand. Both ways. Thanks for the relay, Spitfire. 318 out there, Sparky. Hey, you're on Classic Radio Roundup. I hear you, Doc Hammer. And 318 coming in.
Hello, 318. Hey, 318 in Texas. 441 Pennsylvania, working this antique flea market radio. Hello.
Good afternoon, good evening time, wherever you're at. I appreciate that bump down from that Keystone State. 318's going to wave a hand on everything for you and yours. 318, heavy duty around Dallas, Texas.
Hey, I got a good copy on you there, 318 in Dallas, Texas. Hey, 318. Hey, 318, write this down. Check out YouTube, Classic Radio Roundup. YouTube Classic Radio Roundup. Do that search on YouTube for Classic Radio Roundup, and you will see your video gate. I run a video gate when I'm on the air, and you'll make this week's round. So look for it tomorrow. This week's Classic Radio Roundup on 27115, and about 20 minutes in, you'll hear how you came into Pennsylvania. Hey, 318, top of the evening from 441 Pennsylvania.
That's right, be there, or be square.
I'm always ready to promote the Classic Radio Roundup on YouTube.
It sounds like it just dropped right out just like that again.
Yeah, that 318 was kicking butt up here.
Hello, Classic Radio Roundup. Well, it's Cobra 25. Radio Roundup, Grasshopper checking in. I put it on the Facebook CB radio page about tonight's Radio Roundup, and they might be trying to get in there.
10-4 there, Grasshopper. I hear you there, Grasshopper, on the Facebook CB radio page. Classic Radio Roundup, Channel 13, where it's at on Wednesday night.
Evening, Grasshopper 044, quarter wave Dave said it.
Hey, Grasshopper. He's just on the edge for me.
And then it got noisy.
It's getting a lot windier, too.
Yeah, it did. Evening, Ron. I wouldn't hear hardly any of it.
Yeah, it's pretty gusty windy out there.
Hey, kid, I'll probably leave another tree today. That's all right. All them antennas in that tree will act like a brace, so it'll stiffen it up.
I have one antenna that leans to the west. When it's windy like this, it stands straight up.
Yeah, my phone IMAX are all the way up there, and the way the wind's blowing, it's blowing it. It keeps blowing it and blowing it more and more and more out of whack. It's crazy.
Well, this week's Classic Radio Roundup will be the last one from this here address. Next week will come to you live from the new place. Hey there, Dr. Hammer. I heard you that time last week. This is your last week at that place, and you're moving on, Roger. Hi, Roger, Dave. We'll be moving this weekend and probably most of next week, but next week's roundup will be from the new place. We'll be listening up. Hope we hear you. out there, Roger.
Well, the only way they'll hear me from the new place is over the link, because unless the skip's in, I'll have to go out and get in the motor van and go out and park in the street.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, well, we'll have to listen up. We'll catch you one way or the other.
I roger that. Well, next week the motor van gets an upgrade in the power department. It gets the 1-pill driver and the 4-pill amp. That'll set the old motor van at 10A, Roger.
Roger, Roger, on that motor van. Yeah, that there'll do it for you. Okay, we're going to be on the side when we get back to Spitfire or Sparky or whoever else is out there. We're going to be on the side listening.
Hey, Doc Hammer.
Yeah, go ahead, Sparky.
Hey, don't forget the cinder block. You know what the cinder block's for?
Roger that. Well, I'm gonna pull our little 2-pill out. I was gonna leave it in there. It's doing so well. But I want to be able to run this big amp if I want to, so I'm gonna throw it in the van. There won't be any bass DX talking unless it's on sideband at super low power.
10-4, Doc Hammer. Yeah, the cinder block's to put on the accelerator. So when you're in that motor van sitting out in the parking lot, you get that engine revving.
I don't have to do that, Sparky. At about 1,200 RPM, that Leesonville that I got in there it'll stir up all kinds of amps for that 4-pill.
All right, Doc Hammer. Bagger's in there breaking.
I'm just saying, moving around the van. Sorry I'm late, but I'm here.
Good evening.
It's only really bad to be late for dinner. Hello, Sandbagger, Countywide Radio.
Yeah. I'm here for classic radio round.
Hello, Bagger. Doc Hammer in this worldwide station.
Yeah. I'm going to have to switch radios because this one's got too much noise in the receiver.
I would figure, Doc Hammer. You're moving from that place and you got the link sounding real good.
Is that the high game there, Dave?
It'll be all right the other place, too. As long as we got the link, we're good on the base end of things. There's a few locals out there I can talk to, on sideband. If I really want to get down to business and do some DX, why, I'll just go out and get in the van and pull out the parking lot down the street a little ways. Got all kinds of high elevation to go park and just talk to my heart's content.
All right. Hey, I just want to say I'm running that Royce 642 base station.
Oh, you got that one from Grumpy, huh?
Nope. I had this one prior, and this is the one that would feed back, but I just put ferrites on everything, the speaker cable and the coax. Problem solved.
Show you right.
Fix it with ferrites.
Ferrites are your friend.
Turn Roger right on.
That's a good sounding rig, Sparky.
Yeah, they're nice to look at, and they got good receive. Yeah, thumbs up.
Squeaky, listen to this guy.
No mic gain, but they got a tone control.
The station won't get disconnected for a couple of days yet, so I haven't had any DX. Today's the first day that there's been any kind of DX in. Maybe I'll get a chance to blast away at the old IMAX before I have to pull it down.
639, Pretty straightforward, simple radio, though.
Yeah, lots of board that's in here, I think.
I'm on my newest CB radio that I own.
Yeah, which one's that?
Cobra 142 GTL.
How about that?
Thought I needed something with a little rear end to it, and this one's got it.
Keep on. That's right. Little rear end, that's what she said last night.
I like something with a little rear end.
Yeah, getting down and getting funky.
Man, sounds good.
Bendable, squeezy types. Don't want nobody you can break easy.
This one just came in the mail today. I was just checking her out. Easy peasy, no break, easy.
Easy Queasy cover girl or whatever they say there. Easy squeezy.
Yeah, that rig you're running, Sandbagger, it's got some high fidelity to it.
Yeah, this is the Galaxy. This was sitting on the damn bench, so I quick hooked it up. I want to try to grab the high gain and hook that one up, because that's what I originally intended to run tonight.
Yeah. I know, but it sounds good in my speaker. Thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't making any decisions till I found out how crappy it was out here tonight, and I thought, no, I better get on something that I can get out there with.
Yeah, you know, that's the other choice I got. I got the Cobra 139 XLR. That's a screamer. I can hook that one up. That'll take 2 seconds.
Yeah, this 142's got some good swing to it.
Yeah, lots and lots of swing.
It ain't no thing if it ain't got some swing.
Yeah, that's right. 27115 on your AM radio dial.
Yeah, with my 2-pill into the 8-pill, I got no problem getting peak power out of the 8-pill.
Yeah, that's what you need, Pete. Yeah, you need lots of peak power. 1212. Make sure I don't overdrive this thing here.
That's right, lots of peak power. Countywide. Oh yeah.
Block wide. Neighborhood wide. Got that video gate rolling?
Oh yeah, show you right.
Show you right.
That's right. You got them DXers out there wiping out a lot of people, though. It's like the local classic radio roundup tonight.
Yeah, except for Texas. We had Texas give that 10-5 to Sparky over there from here.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I had to talk to Texas so I could get a message to Springmount.
Thanks for the relay again.
Yeah, my wife and my father-in-law did that one year. They had to get a relay going by way of Louisiana.
Yeah, it's too funny how that works.
Yeah, with all this skipping here every week, we kind of lost track of the Aspen crew.
Yeah, perfect Chuck when Aspen's in there.
Maybe the Aston crew keeps up on the video gates, possibly.
Yeah, we're on radio.
Yeah, right. They could keep up live worldwide on Spew Radio, or catch up on, time shifting on YouTube, on the video gate.
Yeah, or we could rebroadcast it on 27, was it 095 or something?
What? That's 11A.
That's like a sports channel, right?
That would not be FCC approved.
That's That's right. That's how the band, well, not really in band, but verboten.
Hey, not to change the subject, but I'm going to. I was playing some of them tapes through there, and I told you I came up with some Dr. Demento on that reel-to-reel I picked up at the Perky sale. And on the top 5 wackiest of the week, here was the number 1. Cheech and Chong!
Oh no. Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong featuring Alice Bowie and Earache My Eye, number 3 on the Dr. Demento Funny 5. And now that school is out, Dimensions and Dementites, you can wear your Dr. Demento t-shirt to even more amazing places. Wear it to the beach, wear it to summer camp, even wear it to work. You never know what might happen when you wear one of these wonderful Dr. Demento t-shirts. They come in small, medium, large, or extra large, and they're only $5.95 plus $1 for postage and handling.
$5.95.
Get your little pen out now and write your check or money order and send it to Dr. Demento, Post Office Box.
Oh, Dr. Demento, Dr. Demento.
That was a gem to find that on there.
Oh my God, yeah. That's worth its weight in gold. I would record that on the digital format and make an MP3 out of it.
Oh, yeah, I think there's a whole Dr. Demento show in there. There's a bunch of songs. There's the Sweet Transvestite, I think it is, from Rocky Horror Picture.
Oh, right. Yeah. Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, there's a bunch of that stuff on there. There's some wacky stuff on there. Somebody recorded audio from some of the Looney Tunes cartoons too. Bugs Bunny, Yosemite Sam, et al.
What's up, guys?
Hello, Badger.
Hey, what do you say, Doug? Who's that? Sandbagger. Holy cow, man. You're like incredibly loud tonight. Incredible, unreal signal. That's interesting. You must have your beam pointed at me or something. No, I'm actually on the IMAX, and you're about 20 over on my receive. Well, that's good. At least the electrons are flowing in the right direction tonight.
Yeah, you need to have something going on tonight to get out there through all this mess.
No, you're 20 over as well.
Just running this antique flea market, $7 Cobra 142 GTL.
Evening, Badger. What's going on, Flurry? Yeah, I just took a ride around the neighborhood with an AM radio, and I found over behind my house, about an entrance to the little park in Kenilworth, there's a light pole there that is producing some incredible noise on my receiver in the van. And so I came home and I took the beam and I pointed the beam at it, and it's amazing how much noise that light pole is producing. Got here with a sledgehammer and rapid one. Dirty Rig, gonna try it one more time. Anybody got a copy of it out of Waco? Dirty Rig, gonna try it one more time. Anybody got a copy of it out of Waco? Yeah, well, I already called Pico, and I actually got a couple of guys working on it, the same guys that helped out Ron. And they told me that they can work with me as far as the electricity goes, but the light itself belongs to the township. And if the ballast in the light needs to be replaced, then I gotta submit a request to the township to do repairs to the light. That sounds like that could be a whole long time. And then they'll have to approve it, vote on it, study it, and then decide whether they want to do it or not. That's all you're doing. Yeah, I think I'm going to have Pico give me a copy of the letter from their findings, and then I'll have the PAARC write me a letter I can submit along with that to push the township a little bit harder to move on replacing that ballast. Yeah, you really don't have a lot of pull, you know. One guy's amateur radio operator complaining about noise on an otherwise working properly right.
Look what you beat.
Well, it's working correct until it interferes with an operating station.
Well, sure, but from their perspective, they may not care.
Drop that big spread.
Alright, I just went downstairs and tuned up. Does that sound better?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's getting a whole lot noisier out here now at night.
Yeah, but you came up, Badger. Sounds good. I can now hear you on my monitor radio, so I know your signal got stronger. Yeah, 44 does that to my walkie-talkie. He'll break the squelch no matter how high. I usually have the ICOM on the gutter mount antenna, and I've got the attenuator on full, and that's what I use for my talkback monitor. Yeah, everybody's sounding good tonight. Good sounding radio.
I'll put headphones on and I can monitor on the Spew radio, my Kenwood.
Yeah, aliens. Dr. Meadow frame of mind, I'll have to do a public service announcement. Yeah, why am I squealing? That's no good. Aliens. There we go. Aliens.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of good stuff on there, but you know, I just set it up for that little Dr. Demento announcement. Yeah, it takes forever to, move around a reel tape for different stuff, but I thought I'd put that one out there.
I think I heard a breaker out there. Go ahead, breaker.
Hello, Classic Radio.
Hello, right back. Who's out there? Is that Tickle?
Anybody got a hold of me?
Evening, Tickle.
Hello, Tickle. Hello, Tickle. We hear you.
Oh, you can't hear us. Where you at, Tickle? Copy on the creamery. Yeah, 10-4, we got a lot of skip, but we heard you. In foil. Which way you heading, home?
Yeah, I'm heading down back. I had 102 hours.
Yeah, 10-4, heading northbound.
Running better than we're going to have for this cycle.
Oh, we heard you, man, when you broke in there. Classic Radio Roundup.
I had to get my name out there,
Got your name out here? You got yourself on the Classic Radio Roundup weekly video gate. On 27115, the Classic Radio channel.
And we probably did twice. I mean, that survey, I had a little bit. I didn't pay 7,000. But I did a little bit. I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 maybe. But that's what I finally come up with. I mean,
What's comic?
that's it there, you know.
Are you running the Connex in the truck? Oh, yeah, taking it out. Yep.
I got my low power 29 in there. We're on the phone?
Okay, on the 29, yep. Peter gets out on that 29 with that big monkey-made antenna on there.
Yeah, monkey man.
I hear somebody out there on all that noise shouting for classic radio.
No, we're just going to have to see some more.
Who out there is shouting for Classic Radio Roundup? It is Classic Radio Roundup. Best show on Citizens Band Radio.
Yikes, it's tough to pull anything out of all that.
Yeah, it's a shame we all stinking noise in there.
I'm slowly learning how to speak Spanish, though.
Yeah. You might be speaking it, but you don't know what you're saying.
It's a CB Rosetta Stone.
Yeah. Rosetta Stone ain't got nothing on us.
If they would only turn off the Roger beeps, I'd be listening more for context, you know? It could be, Tickle. I can hear skipland.
Yeah, it's downstairs. They got some damn radio show going on.
You'll get louder for me, Tickle. If you're up on top there, though, the other guys heard you.
Evening, Tickle. Yeah, I was out of the room. I walked in here and heard you in there say you're up by Red Rock, Roger. And for the little red mobile. Okay, well, we need to get back to Sparky. I'm on the side.
Yeah, I like those Connex radios. I don't have one. Looked at a couple of them. They made a Connex CX566. It was just like a 6900 board sideband. It was actually type classified, and they only ran that for a couple of months, and they took it off the market.
You don't want to try another 29 in here? I like the Connex at home. I don't know. It just works.
That's right. Yeah, you got a big enough power supply on that?
Oh, yeah. I'm keeping that thing 20 amps.
Yeah, 40 would be better.
Well, I could do that. But it doesn't even drag the play down.
Nah, that's enough. Yeah, that's enough for that radio.
And then, the box that it comes up to, which surprises me that it takes the Connex without a problem. That's just under the wall.
Yeah, I got a boatload of these power supplies now, these little 12-volt mean wells. They're like 12 amps. So if you know anybody that's looking for like an affordable 12-amp power supply, and let me know. I'd like to call Meanwell and see if I could stack them, but I don't think you can.
Well, they were stock radios, wasn't they?
Yeah, even, stock radio, dual final. 12 amps would do a dual final radio.
Is that what I have?
Now you got a single pill in the back there. Single final, but it's a pill, a big transistor, 2290.
Customer. Yeah, I saw a board that they stick it on. I don't think it's a stair board, but that's what the board I looked at actually is 29 on the board. You put it on the inside cover of your radio.
Yeah, that'd be good for like quick key ups, but you couldn't be long-winded with that without the heat sinks.
Can't drop the mall all day long.
Yeah, or if you're peeled.
If I can't talk skip, I'm gonna drop the mall all day long. What's going on, Tickle? I hear you out there. Well, I did hear him.
That's right, modifications are subject to change without further notice.
You can lose contact with your station under these conditions at any moment.
Yeah, specifications are subject to change without prior notice.
Yeah, I've had a couple times when the locals were getting squelched out, but not totally, man, not totally.
Are neither required nor encouraged. Printed copies available upon request.
That's right, Doc Hammer. Yeah, I still hear you, Tickle.
I'm going to step out. I got like 7 pounds of noise here, and I'm getting a little further away from y'all.
All right, Tickle, put it on you later.
And 4 talking. West Central Georgia. Thanks for the check.
Who else is out there on Classic Radio Roundup?
Now's your chance to make yourself known.
Southern stations to come just a little further into South Carolina so you get the Night Ranger in there on Classic Radio Roundup.
That's why I was listening for the dialect to change here.
It's a whole mixed mash of mush.
Yeah, that was cool. I was down in Florida, and I did tune in to Speed Radio on my phone a couple times, and there was local traffic on Channel 13.
Oh, cool. Remote check-in on Classic Radio Roundup and the Spew Radio Network.
27.115 on your AM radio dial.
Hey, thank you, Dave. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
It is pretty unique.
It's a happy place.
Every year at this time, the National Space Administration requires all aliens to register. Forms are available at your local post office. Those without forms must appear, however briefly, at the Bureau's after offices on Nooker Street. Aliens, register now.
That's right. Bring 2 forms of identification, please.
I'll wave my hat at the old fire sign theater there.
And all forms will be void without validation.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Demento, he was out of California, right? Out of L.A.?
Well, I don't know. Hang on. Let's see.
5033, Sherman Oaks, California, 91403. They got my picture on them and they say, stay demented. Come on.
That's it. Sherman Oaks, California. Is he still alive? I don't know. That sounds like a question for Wiki.
Yep, that does. I was going to say, I can't answer that.
Oh, great Wikipedia. Tell me a partial truth, please. Dr. Demento, Dr. Demento. That's cool, man. You got a reel-to-reel. You said you picked the reel-to-reel up there at the park, or did you just pick up the tape?
No, I picked up the tape and the reel machine. Well, it comes down to this. My father's cleaning out the attic. I guess at some point they want to sell the house and move into something easy. So he found all his reel-to-reel tapes dating back to 1959 of his on-air checks and whatnot, different shows throughout the years. And he asked me if I had a reel-to-reel player to help him go through the tapes and look for some good stuff. I'm like, no, I don't, but I'll keep my eyes open for one. And there was a few of them tapes I know I'm on as a 5, 6, 7-year-old. And then he had a few of them out. He says, I'm going to go through these at the radio station. They have a reel-to-reel player, And I said, well, that one right there, I know I'm on. It was 12/24/1972. WIBF. I said, I know I'm on that one, giving everybody Merry Christmas greetings. I remember it. So I was like, I want to go through that tape. So I go to the Perky sale on Monday. I'm like, well, let's see if we've got one floating around. I'll start going. In the next few weeks, one will turn up. Don't you know there was a decent shaped RCA sitting there, and it had 4 tapes with it. And I'm just going through the first tape, and I'm like, oh man, 50s, 60s, and 70s rock, and Dr. Demento, Looney Tunes cartoons audio. And this is just the first tape. There's 2 tracks. Well, actually, there's 4 tracks. Track 1 and 2 and A and B side. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like the reel-to-reels, man. My brother had one, I had one. I think I gave my last one away. Should have kept that.
Well, I had to go and buy one now to help Dad go through his tapes.
Yeah, that's cool.
They got my picture on them and they say,
That was cool. I had my reel-to-reel right on the top of my 6-foot rack, my audio rack, on the very top.
Stay demented. Come on, show the world how demented you really are. Get one of these shirts for yourself. Dr. Demento, Post Office Box 5033, Sherman Oaks, California 91403.
That's good stuff.
Well, the audio quality is really, really good, man. Sounds like, he's right there.
Well, it's got a nice big wooden box, that it's in, and a speaker in there, good sized speaker. And then I had to recap it, because when I first turned it on, it worked and all, and I had to work on some of the mechanics, and I actually had to put brake shoes on it, because the brake shoes were these plastic things that fell apart, so I made my own brake shoes for it to stop the reels on your fast forwarding and rewinding, otherwise it would just spin away. Anyway, and did the best I can with tightening up the belts and cleaning up the pulleys, and it works pretty well. Where was I going with all this? Oh, I had to recap it because I noticed one of the filter caps is the plastic kind, where they like 50 microfarad, 25 volt caps, but they were plastic. And one of them had, you know, shrunk plastic or whatever. It was cracked open. I'm like, well, that ain't working. There's where my hum's coming from. So I replaced, there was 4 big electrolytics and I replaced them.
Okay. You get it from your electrolytic supplier?
Well, I got a whole bunch of them low voltage ones. I replaced, let's see, the 50s with 100s at 35 volts, and the other ones were 200s, and I replaced them with 330s at 35 volts.
And now with no hums at all.
Yeah, it's got good audio quality now.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, but does it have flatback audio?
Well, most of those tape machines do. That was my first experience with echo. That's when I heard echo.
Here's another little snippet you'll remember. Whoa, ding-a-ding-ding.
Ding dong.
Oh my god.
Dead puppies aren't much fun. They don't come when you call.
Dead puppies.
Oh my god, not Dead Puppies. That's a classic.
They're not much fun.
They don't come when you call.
Call Dead Puppies aren't much fun.
Squirrels and all. Dead puppies aren't much fun. My puppy died late last fall. He's still rotting in the hall. Dead.
God, we used to sing that song all the time.
This is the stuff I'm finding on this tape.
That's worth the price of admission right there, just that tape.
That tape was worth it, you know, yeah, the whole thing. I got the whole thing for $50, but man, you know, it really made it worth it with this fun tape. It's a tape like I would have made.
Yeah. Probably the guy who made it was your age when he did.
Let's see what's on the, there's some test 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3 with the guy and his kid. This little kid, hello. I'm like, oh my. Let's see what's on track, the other track. I think there should be something here. Yeah, I'll find something on. There is, there's something there. There's testing. But the other track, there's the dead puppies.
Dead puppies aren't much
Dr. Demento.
Well, you don't have to turn the tape around and play it backwards. You just reverse the direction.
No, it has a switch. Track 1 and track 2. I guess you can flip the thing over and you get A and B. Sometimes I think the switch is a little deoxid. Oh no, there it is. There's the, I don't want it recording your TV. There's kids talking and it's just running. It's like taping what's in the room at the moment, what I'm listening to on the other track. And then there's Dr. Demento. And then there's still 3 more tapes for me to listen to.
That's kind of weird because the way a reel-to-reel tape works, that must be stereo. I mean, the recorder itself is not stereo, but it's got the left and the right channel selectable. Because the way it normally works is you turn the tape around and play it the opposite direction and you get the other 2 tracks.
Yeah, this has a switch on it. It's labeled, what does it say? Track. It says track. And then on the left side there's 1 and an A and a B. And on the right side there's a 2 with an A and a B. And while it's running, I flip that switch and I go from one track to the next. So I guess, yeah, you're right. It's a 2-track at the same direction, and then 2 more tracks, I guess, if you flip it over, right?
Yeah, that's a stereo tape. You got your left and right channel, and, you know, you turn it the opposite way, you have left and right on the other side. So that one's not, that's monaural, but it selects between the left and the right track.
Yes, I'll go along with that.
That's interesting. I never saw one that did that.
Here's some more Dr. Demento.
Dr. Demento Funny 5 take good care of your puppies now. Dimensions and Demento. Doctor told you so.
Hey, Kratz, freshen up gum? Sure. Wow! What's with you? I
Daggone
didn't know the
commercial.
gum was loaded. You didn't know freshen up was loaded with flavor? He didn't know the gum was loaded. So expected all this cake.
I didn't know it had commercials too.
Yeah, 44, you doubled there with him.
Yeah, I heard that.
Sorry, I don't mean to be taken over here with this, but it is kind of interesting.
Now, 44, he was saying he had a track. I always called him a 4-track. Because of that, you could select, 4 tracks on it. It just wouldn't be stereo, obviously.
Yeah, that's the way mine was, Pete.
My Akai was actually quad. It was, I guess it would be 8-track then. That Akai I had was really nice. It actually had an 8-track cartridge player in the side of it, as well as the reel-to-reel.
Well, anyway, it was worth the $50. I mean, it works pretty well. And like, we all are finding out, the tape itself is a bonus.
Oh, that's a great bonus, man. That's like a time capsule.
That's perfect for especially guys like us, It's like we talk about this all the time. And then there it is. I got the Dr. Demento show. And I got some Cheech and Chong. I got some Rocky Horror Picture. Looney Tunes. I got Testing 1, 2, 3. Let me see if I can find that.
Testicles 1, 2. Testicles 1, 2.
Yeah, a classic. Well, I remember seeing the reel-to-reel tapes like the Beatles and Quad and stuff like that came on for the reel-to-reel. That was the only way I think you could get Quad. Were there Quad records? I don't think so.
I think they might have flirted with it briefly. Quad was a really big deal around 1972, 1973. A couple of radio stations broadcasted briefly in Quad, but it didn't last.
Yeah, it's funny. And then Dolby came around with 3.1 and 5.1 and 7.1.
Well, that was many years later.
Yeah. Still really hasn't hit the cars. I guess some of the newer cars have surround in them.
Yeah, digital surround sound. Where you too can sound like you're far away when you're not.
Yeah, I like it to sound just like I'm in a big room. But usually I find that I hear it in the headphones, but no one else hears it that I'm running at.
Oh yeah, slapback.
Yeah, you can do the same thing with an external speaker down the hallway.
Oh yeah, we used to do that years ago. We had the speaker and, it would be just enough of a delay that, it would give you a little bit of a reverberation effect. You'd kind of sound kind of like this a little bit. Well, maybe, yeah, like that.
Yeah, like you were in a big spackled room.
Take all the curtains off the windows, take the carpeting off the floor, and have a totally empty room. And then you can really just sound like you're in a hollow room.
All right, well, I'm wishing that the noise level would drop for the second half classic radio roundup.
It seems to be dropping a little bit anyway. I was like at 5 or 6 before. Now I'm down around 4.
Well, maybe I can get over it now.
Well, yeah, you can.
That's right. That's what happens when you get back on the bigger antenna from the bigger radio.
That's right. Bigger's better.
Hey, you over there, driver?
He's right some seats in last night.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I hear you tickle now.
Okay, how about now?
Yep, still sounding good.
And 40, I was just trying to see if you can still hear me barefooted. Oh yeah, how's it good and sounding? There is a lot of Spanish flying around out there.
Holy moly oleo. Hello, Tickle.
Hello. Spitfire?
Hey, let me play another little snippet for you all. There you go.
I'm gonna have to see about hooking my audio source directly into this equalizer. I bet I could make some good broadcast sounding recordings and play them through here, and it'd probably sound real good with all that fidelity.
Yeah, audio.
I bet I could pump the thing into the, use the aux output and pump it into the back of the Kenwood and put it right out over the air.
That would probably work really well. If your aux output is line level for driving a component stereo or something, then that would probably mate up with the Kenwood just fine.
That the instruction book does say, aux output for driving your hi-fi.
Have you able to figure out how old that thing is when that was made?
No, but it is solid state. I'm guessing early 70s, after 70, but before 75 is my impression.
I'm thinking it's probably older than that because it's not stereo. Pretty much any reel-to-reel of that size has been stereo since the late 60s.
Okay, that may be possible. Yeah, it is not stereo, but it is 2-track at least, you know, or 4-track, whatever you want to call it. And it's pretty decent size, pretty decent quality. You know, I mean, I've had reel-to-reels come and go. I mean, it's no high-end one, but it's no bottom-end one either.
Does that have variable speeds?
It has 3-speed, yeah, 1 7/8, 3 3/4, and 7.5.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's a halfway decent machine. So I would have to guess, based on the fact that it's not stereo, I would have to assume that thing was probably made around 1966 or 67.
Yeah, being all solid state, I wouldn't think it would be that old, but you know, it very well could be. I wouldn't argue it.
Yeah. They had tubes, but I can remember, matter of fact, I could probably find something similar to that in the old Radio Shack catalogs. You can see how far back the solid state ones go there that they used to make.
I think I'd have to search for an actual model number. Let me see if it has the model number in the manual here.
Yeah, you know what? There might be some information on the internet that would identify its origin or its date or whatever.
It's an RCA Victor. You know, I know that much. No, there's no model. Monophonic tape recorder. Operating instructions. RCA Victor.
You got a picture of little Nipper looking at his master's voice?
Yes, sir. The logo, both logos. The RCA lettering with the electric bolt, and then right next to it is Nipper looking at his master's voice. You got it. You're right on. Here's one of the interesting things on the specifications: voltage, power required, blah blah blah, playing time, blah blah blah, recording tracks 4. Now here's the next one. Here's the specification: wow and flutter. Less than 35% at 7.5 inches a second.
Wow, flutter was a big deal, man, because my very first reel-to-reel tape recorder, like I said, didn't have a capstan roller in it, and that had horrible wow and flutter.
Okay, well.
Wow and flutter. Yeah,
Well, man. Hello, Chuck, and I think there's somebody else trying to get into the roundup here.
Man, kind of noisy in here tonight. Yeah, go for classic radio. Round.
You're talking about ain't nobody on the radio, I believe is what you said, right?
Yeah, man, just a...
What happened to Doc Hammer?
You getting off a lot, too?
Voice level.
I get this thing configured differently tonight, so I'm using a remote monitor here for my audio.
Yeah.
Yeah? How remote is it?
Carolina years ago.
It's just a second receiver that doesn't have an antenna hooked to it. Yeah, that's what I do. Well, mine has an antenna hooked to it, but I have the attenuator on. I use my 706 ICOM and then drive the headphones so I can hear myself. Yeah, I could never get the level right because the monitor in the rig itself was just way too powerful, so my audio would be weak when it was really strong and vice versa, so this seems to be working out.
From England, right?
Oh, yeah, this radio's got a talkback in it, but yeah, that's kind of lame, you know, you're hearing it out the speaker. I'm using a Kenwood R1000, 12 kilohertz wide on the receive. Wideband. Evening, Chuck.
Anyhow, you got the government. I'm here to tell you what to do and when to do it. Have a good evening.
How about it, Chuck? You copy Sparky on this voice 642 base station? Chuck, am I making it over there? Oh, no.
Oh, no, he won't go. Uh-oh.
205, Virginia's for lovers. Sounding good out this way. I'm,
Every year at this time. Alrighty.
sometimes I go by 420.
Sounds like the skip is still rolling out there. Yeah, it's just a bunch of garbage, though. It's just a noise level. It's really hard to make out anything intelligible from any of it.
Yeah, a bunch of garbage skip. Can't do nothing. Can't do nothing with the garbage skip.
No one will recognize me in this disguise.
Looney Tunes.
Nobody will recognize me in my disguise.
I think I'm going to get rid of that 427.
All disguised up, are you?
I think I'm going to go with I'm the government. I'm here to tell you what to do and what to say and when to say it. You know what I mean?
Going a little further into the tape and see what turns up.
10-4. How about it, Chuck? You copy Sparky?
Yeah, bring it on back there, Sparky.
Hey, 10-4, I just wanted to see if I could get on your receive. I hear you over here.
I appreciate you working hard.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Because I'm like a...
All right, 10-4. See if it was working.
Good evening, Chuck.
Yeah, hello.
I'm the subdivision.
Okay, it's time to do microphone, using the microphones again here. This thing said okay, it's not too loud, is it? No, it's not too loud. Might actually be a tad, well, maybe you back it down just a tad, I don't know. Sounds okay. Okay, let me see here. Just a tad, there we go. Yeah, because you got like a little bright, raspy high end there. It's sort of, I don't know. It's like sort of like this, just very, very shrill on the high end. You probably should have an EQ or something to back some of that off a little bit.
Yeah, you don't want to be goofy, baby.
All right, I can back it down there a little bit. Yeah, get some of that 2.5 kilohertz, pull that down a little bit.
And a moment from our sponsor.
Does your hair look like this? Try hair all gone. It restores your hair quickly, and you look like this. Now show us the back.
Schuylkill Expressway travelers, stop by and get your I Survived the Schuylkill Expressway t-shirt. Yes, that's the I Survived the Schuylkill Expressway t-shirt at the Belmont Service Plaza. And Belmont now has facilities for 18-wheelers, so truck them on in. And don't forget to ask for your I Survived the Schuylkill Expressway t-shirt. Yes, the Schuylkill Expressway is the worst highway in the country and probably the world. So why not commemorate this wonderful place by asking for your I Survived the Schuylkill Expressway t-shirt at the Belmont Service Plaza, Belmont, Pennsylvania. A guy at work was telling me about a pretty interesting tag he saw. Oh. IH8422. There you go. Yeah, well, there's a Facebook page called 422 Sucks. Yeah, they talked like they were going to put tolls on the road, too. Yeah, who would pay tolls to deal with 422? That's what I want to know. Yeah, I want to pay and then go sit. Yeah, perfect. No, thank you. I mean, I don't know what's been going on, but it seems like in the last couple of weeks there's been a hell of an increase in the amount of accidents on that road. Whenever there's a climate change or season change, there's always an elevated amount of accidents, I think. Yeah, I guess all the idiots get reactivated. Those are two roads that I completely steer as far clear from as I possibly can. Well, I don't have much of a choice if I want to get to work in a reasonable amount of time. Like if I've got to go down there by the refineries, I'll end up taking 476 all the way down to 95, bring 95 back up and get off at Island. Schuylkill Expressway? Yeah, you don't want to be on that at all if you can avoid it. That's the worst highway in the country and probably the world. The only time I'll get on that road is after 10:30 in the morning and before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Anything else, I won't go near it. And even then, it's a rare occasion that I'll actually use it. If I can get around it, I'll use Conshohocken State Road. I don't care, something else.
Yeah, the Schuylkill Expressway. Here's one for you, Dave. Bring you back.
I used to hear him sing all day long. My name is Larry. My name is Larry. I have a cousin. His name is Harvey. Hi, Harvey. My name is Larry. My name is Larry. My name is...
Oh my God, my name is Larry. I haven't heard that in years.
Me either. Probably the last time I heard the Dr. Demento show.
This was back in the days before YouTube. Now people do silly things like that and put it on YouTube and get a million hits.
Yeah, my name is Larry.
Is that the reel-to-reel tape that you got?
Yeah, there's all kinds of good stuff on here.
You finally found a reel-to-reel?
Yeah, I didn't have to look too hard either.
Oh, that's cool.
And it came with 4 tapes, and I'm only going through the first tape, and there's all kinds of fun stuff on there. Dr. Demento and whatnot, 50s, 60s, and 70s music. Let's see what else. Some more Larry.
who is sure of his identity? That's My Name is Larry, Wildman Fisher from the album Wild Mania. That's number 4, the 4th most requested song of the week on Dr. Demento Funny 5. But that song and Larry's expressions of woe kind of reminded me of this next recording, which came out in the late 1940s, and it'll be an encore performance from Arthur Godfrey on this show, along with one of his little Godfrey, Cy Schaefer, who sings through his...
I wonder, I guess, I don't know, well, at some point maybe when you're listening to it, he'll announce what date it is or something. I'm curious when that was recorded.
Yeah, I would like to hear a date through any of this. Yeah, you're right. I haven't heard any dates.
I'm kind of thinking it sounds kind of mid-70s-ish, but,
I'm a lonely little petunia in an onion patch.
Oh man, classic Arthur Godfrey. This thing really does have good fidelity.
That I have ever heard, the saddest is the story told me by a bird.
did you even take a Q-tip and some cleaner and clean the heads?
No, I didn't do anything. Not like that, just mechanically.
Wow, get some alcohol and clean the heads. Probably has a little bit of buildup on it from use.
I don't think this thing was used all that much. It's too clean.
How about that? I bet your father has that Arthur Godfrey song buried somewhere. He probably has a copy of it.
Oh yeah, my father has it. And if he don't, he tells me now, if he says, oh, if I don't have it, I can find it on the internet.
Well, that's probably true, because I can find all kinds of cool stuff on the internet.
And how cool is that? My dad is what, 74? Oh yeah, I just go on the internet.
That's all I ever do is download it. Ask him if he can borrow his demagnetizer.
Mountain, Pennsylvania, standing by.
Yeah, I got one of those.
Somebody's breaking from somewhere in Pennsylvania for us, I think. But before that happens, he used to have one of them big old demagnetizers, and I used to get in trouble with that thing when I was a kid.
Yeah, you can erase tapes with that.
Erase tapes, pick stuff up. We erase tapes by accident. Like you just sweep by and you would erase like half the tape, so it would like go up and down in volume.
Who's the breaker out there?
Come on, breaker.
Yeah, breaking station. Go ahead.
He said he was up in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania breaking.
To turn the beam around then. Yeah, I'm not hearing anybody. Go ahead, Pocono Station. No, I just hear some over-the-road drivers. OTR. Hey, is this the classic radio roundup frequency? Why, yes it is. What we got out there? We got Sandbagger, who's that?
4. 024 is reading my mail.
Say again your stepmouth. Yeah, who's that out there? You got Sandbagger over here. Sandbagger, T-Berry, what's going on? Where are you at? Westport in New Jersey, out by the PA border.
Yeah, that's T-Berry over in Jersey. He always comes in good. Hello, T-Berry Spitfire.
Hey, Spitfire, what's going on? Yeah, T-Berry. Long time no hear. Yeah, it's been a while. That radio sounds a little overmodulated or something. I got a good copy on T-Berry. Let me tune in his VFO. It sounds just a little muddy or something. Sparky waving out there, T-Berry. Yeah, I heard T-Berry maybe up on channel 31 or 32. Is that your home channel up there, T-Berry? 31 or 32? Yeah, 31. How's that, any better? Yeah, it's getting better. Yeah, I got this old Siltronic 90 VFO, just gotta warm up a little bit, you know? a frequency issue, though. It's more like a modulation issue. Yeah, they get better when they warm up.
I know about the console 2 with a VFO on it, but my old faithful console 2, I got to get some work done, so this is my backup.
Roger on the backup. Yeah, I really like those SBE radios. Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, that's what I had back in the day, so I kind of stuck to them. I like the old school stuff.
Yeah, they made a couple ham radios.
And it's always good to have a backup.
Yeah, I got a couple backups, but I pulled this one out of the closet. Yeah, they made an SBE 34 model, which is a ham radio.
I'm using the newest CB radio I have, my Cobra 142 GTL.
Hey, 10-4. Hey, T-Berry, yeah. I'm running an old, a Royce 642 base station.
Hey, roger that on the road. Sounding good up this way.
Yeah, big old 3-meter radio. Kind of looks like a stereo.
I always wanted to pick up one of them tri-meter Royces, just never had the one come my way.
Yeah, I think Bagger, you said the 641's the better one, the 23 channel at 640?
Well, I don't know if it's a better one necessarily, but it certainly is, a nice radio for a 23 channel.
Yeah, I think they look almost the same myself, but I'd like to see the board.
Yeah, the 23 is just a crystal control radio.
Alright, well this is a PLL.
Yep. Which is the one that you got from Grumpy? That's not a 642, and then that's a 6 something else.
Man, I knew you were going to ask that. I think it's a 642, but there was an issue with it. I might have, usually I'll put a post-it note on the side when I fire them up what was wrong.
I know it's wrong. It's got a problem with sideband transmit, but is that the same one as what you got, or is that a different version?
I'd have to look. Stand by.
I know they made two different. They made one that was really super fancy, and the other one was a little less fancy. And I forget which model is which.
Now, see, I don't have the sideband one. I got the 620.
The non-sideband.
Non-sideband 23 channel. That looks like a double, triple key on there.
I'm trying to figure out who let all them ducks on my channel. Get them ducks off my channel. Where's there a duck?
I don't see any ducks on the channel.
Oh, it's this zookeeper in Spokane. You got some frequency issues. You seem to be drifting in and out.
Yeah, he's up in Spokane.
I was just giving these guys up here a hard time calling ducks. They're all a bunch of mud ducks.
On Wednesday night, Channel 13 is owned by the Classic Radio Roundup.
Yeah. Sorry, man. You guys go about do your thing. Zookeeper in Spokane, Washington.
Alright there, Spokane, Washington. This is every Wednesday night, Classic Radio Roundup. 23 channels or less, 25 years old or older. We'll even take the 40 channels. Classic operators are welcome. CB radio at its finest. Wednesday nights, Channel 13. Classic Radio Roundup.
Yeah. Hey, anybody interested in an old Tram 23 tube set radio?
Chris, when do you think this skip ain't rolling?
Uh-oh, there's There's a Tram 23 out there for sale. Classic Radio Roundup horse trading.
Yeah, we can do horse trading. Who wants to sell a tram?
Yeah, Tram 23 would be a
Gotta get copy on here. I don't hear you too well. I've been trying to clean up Channel 13 for probably 20 years. I don't know if it'll ever get cleaned up. What a mess. That's good out here. You need to move to a better place.
Yeah, it's not messy here. We have a good time on Channel 13.
9350.
Channel 13 is a safe haven.
Yeah, it would be cold weather up here.
I got another one for you, Dave. You ready?
Go for it. Move ahead.
25. Stevie Coffin. Yeah?
Oops.
What do you do before a big race?
Hey, Georgia. Sounds good in Spokane. I didn't catch the handle because it's rough out there. A lot of people keying up.
Here it is. There it is. Three drunk newts.
I wonder if you'll still brought that song called Eugene, where he sticks his hand in sand for fun.
Well, it seems to be a whole bunch of different episodes of Dr. Demento, so there's a bunch of songs on here from that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I put the Cobra 139 XLR in line here, so it sounds more like a traditional kind of CD type radio.
Yeah, sure you're right. But Spokane still made it rough on me.
That's right. That's why I jumped in there and make a little bluff on them. Just a little bit.
Where it comes to station that pops up out of the noise.
Number 7. Where'd that Pocono guy get to?
Buried by Spokane.
He was trying to sell his Tram Tube 23 channel base.
Oh, that was the Pocono guy.
I think that's where he was from.
Yeah, I didn't have a good copy on it. His modulation was kind of funny.
I was going to ask him if it was a 27E.
Well, I wasn't keyed up. So let him jump. I think they're back quiet now. I don't know, they became a mud duck all of a sudden. Well, whatever, what do you do?
Take a break. Night train mobile out here, break. All right, night train. Anybody picking up that night train mobile? Mile marker 330. Mile marker 330. 10-4 to mile marker 330. 10-4 to my train.
Yeah, I heard the train out there, but man, it's a mess.
Yeah, something got really nasty out there. Where's he at? The oil highway?
There's a lot of traffic. But yeah, we did hear the night train out there, 331 mile stick.
What highway?
Where you at, train? I'm on 76 west. About
76 westbound, 331. That means he's east of King of Prussia.
Okay, so he's on the Pure Expressway. Or is he on the turnpike now? Alright, Bud Light. Sounds good in Spokane. I hear where Spokane is hanging out.
But that guy from Washington.
That Bud Light sounds good. That's probably what I need, is a Bud Light. Alright, take care, Zookeeper in Spokane.
I got you there. Night train, mobile. Yeah, that guy from Spokane, I think he heard you. heard there when you broke in. Yeah, he's real loud. I got a great copy on your night train in the Mobile. 15 estimates on my Yakimo. Catch you later. 33, zookeeper with the wind.
Yeah, it looked like Spokane got the wall down on the, well, it was a little hard, but, I appreciate you opening the door, Sparky. Top of the evening.
Well, you're doing the same up here. I turned the noise blanker off of this Yakimo and put you up around 20. All right, take care, 33. Just this Yakimo.
Roger, right on there. Night train. We hear you out here, too. Smoking up this way. Don't you know?
Hello, Sam Bagger. Hello, Sam Bagger. Night train, Mobile, or waving at you right there.
Yeah, there's small steel tubes, man.
Yeah, we got a good copy on you. You're definitely on this way. Different the occasional loud one that pops in there, but you're 10-8 straight, as they used to say.
Zookeeper, ain't quiet. He's loud. I hear some big radios out there. What do you mean by big? I know they are when I keep...
Good grief, what a mess. I was just going to add to it.
Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bad time lots of fun.
Sounds like you got a little bit of dropouts on that tape.
Yeah. The further I get into the tape, it sort of goes up and down a little.
Yeah, dropouts. I just know that's what used to piss me off recording, even on cassettes or reel-to-reel. You record them, and then like a couple weeks later, they start doing that. And I was like,
Yeah, what's with that?
That's my biggest complaint with tape, dropouts.
Is that from like the tape getting stretched or something?
From otherwise good quality.
Yeah, I kept searching around trying to find a brand of tape that wouldn't do it. Chromium oxide tapes and metal tapes and all that.
I don't know where I got that Washington State. Man, Washington State's bang.
So much nicer now. All I have to do is download MP3 and I'll have to record stuff.
I like that.
That's more Dr. Demento.
Dr. Demento.
Yeah, you must have some Cheech and Chong on that, right? Absolutely.
Oh man, here's another one I haven't heard in 100 years. Oh my goodness. Ready for this?
Roly-poly.
My brother and I used to drive my father nuts with that song.
You ever see the video for that?
No.
Oh, there's an MTV video for that.
Oh, good grief, I didn't know there was.
Oh, Slinky commercial. Yeah, that was the early 80s, that song.
Oh, really? It came out in the early 80s?
At least the video did, and maybe it was a remake.
I was gonna say, because if the song came out in the early 80s, that kind of limits or narrows down the record time of when that Dr. Demento show was recorded.
I remember hearing that song earlier than the 80s, maybe late 70s.
Last time I used to listen to Dr. Demento a lot, like 78 time frame
TV.
That was an ugly double on my end.
Well, maybe the band that did the song originally they remake the video.
Yeah, that could be. I remember hearing it on Dr. Demento in the 70s. There it is. I'm pretty sure all this stuff is from the 70s.
Yeah, Dr. Demento, when I used to listen to him a lot, it was like the 1977, 78, 79 time frame. It sounded a lot like what he's doing there. I don't know how much he changed his
from YSP or Q102? Where did he come in on?
YSP, there was a YSP ID on the tape.
I'm thinking I used to hear it on WIOQ.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't necessarily mean. I'm pretty sure that it was a YSP. I have to remember back now. I can't sure. Remember what station I did hear it on.
Now, was that Sunday night?
That I do remember. Sunday nights, yep.
Yep, Sunday night. He was banner with a purpose.
The neurons are still firing.
The original syndication of the show went into syndication in 1974. Started in 74.
So it can't be any older than that.
Y'all copy that?
1974 it is.
Man, every time I key up, you guys.
I'm gonna have to look for eBay or something for some blank tape now, because I don't want to record over this.
No, you don't. What do you have yourself a little bit of fun and go in the Radio Shack and ask for something? Keep it down my Reel to reel what? You don't want to know those?
Good ship conditions.
Yeah, reel to reel what? Tape? What's that for?
Coming on.
Okay, 78 to 92, he was syndicated by Westwood One Radio Network.
Man, it's cold up here. Yeah, that's what I used to listen to it. 70 time frame. So that's probably when that was recorded.
Hey, call me the night train, and this is your night train mobile. I don't know what's wrong, man. I guess that thing got everybody's ears plugged up. Up to the train mobile coming up 422.
Alright, take care down there in Georgia. Yeah, we hear you out there, Train. You're definitely train approved.
I'm having a hard time with that guy from Propane, man. He's covering everybody up, man. It's hard to hear you guys getting back to me there.
Yeah, I hear you about getting your ears plugged and a whole lot of noise tonight on Classic Radio Roundup. I heard you that time, Train, countywide on the side.
I heard you quite a long ways back to that countywide. I can hear you all the way down here. Give me a show out here, right? Yeah, holy northwest corner. Well, maybe they'll move on.
Hopefully the conditions will just shift and it'll take the problem out of our ears anyway.
Somebody offline.
Okay, they're making a documentary called Under the Smogberry Tree. The true story of Dr. Demento and Mr. Hansen.
You know, man, just a Yakima.
How was that supposed to come out?
That's all it takes anymore.
What's the Dr. Demento documentary? The documentary.
I like that bird.
Try that again, Spokane got right on you.
When is that coming out?
It just says it's currently in production at more all brittle and breaks down. Living to you guys was my receiver going off frequency.
I got you, Night Train. Still hear that mobile. There was somebody on sideband there. It almost sounded like the Aston crew. I caught some sideband action there.
Yeah, I heard the sideband action, the spoke can action, this, that, and that. There's all kinds. It just take your pick. 441. Big messy classic radio roundup.
Big pile up radio.
I was on, one of these I had off. It was either Monday or Sunday or I don't know. So I happened to be listening, and I came up here and I listened, and I heard sideband on this channel. And I went to the other side, and it sounded like Russian.
I semi-regularly hear a group of Italians talking on sideband here.
Getting out of radio. I wonder if it was Italian. It sounds totally Russian, but it sounded like either Slavic or something like that. But it was definitely, my name was usually pointed that way. So I'll take that to your opinion. This is radio. DX Labs, Zookeeper, Spokane, Washington.
This is not the DX channel on Wednesday nights. This is the classic radio channel on Wednesday nights. 10-4 Roger, right on there, Bagger. Yeah, I have heard this group of Italians, though. It's not to say Russians aren't here, too. I hear them stinking Russian taxi drivers up there on the 10 meters AM using FM radios.
Yeah, that's what made me think that the Russians, and I can remember the stories of the taxi drivers. I'm thinking, well, that probably gave their property here.
Zookeeper. He said he was a zookeeper.
Don't care. Somebody here just took over today. Operator Ron, do you have the power to shut them down?
Shut them down, Ron.
Yeah, put some fire in that wire there, Ron. Right, take care around DX Labs, Zookeeper's back lab.
Yeah, you need to break out the El Kabong.
That's right. Shut them down, Ron.
Western. Well, let me get my big radio out. Nobody going to talk while I got this small down. Yeah, if I can't talk skip, I'll drop them all day long. Ain't none of y'all gonna talk when I got to hear my all down.
Yep. All day long.
Night train, it's your night. Hey, 48. Oh, out there, night train. Lots of ops at the base station.
I thought I heard Skeeter out there.
You're right on here, lots of ops at the base station. You're right on, lots of ops at the base station, making it over the noise, your night train. Mobile got you, go ahead. Hello, around the band, Bagger, Countywide, Brandon, Ron, and the night train in the Mobile. Give us a 20 there, night train. What's your 20?
Good, 48. Zookeeper with the wave around Spokane.
Come on, Spokane. We can't even talk over here. Sure we can. We just ignore them.
Hey there, Skeeter.
Oh, Quarter Wave Dave? Quarter Wave Dave. Night train, what's your 1020 out there, Roger?
Alright, take care, man. I'm on TV2. Going on my way.
Traffic at 1 mile. Traveling about 55 miles an hour. Going
Alright, stay here. Close this gate a few more times, Bridge.
Roger there, night train. I hope we're making it over the noise there. Night train, you're lost to Hopsu base station. Break out. Alright, train, that guy from Spokane finally got dinner bell rung. He went to go eat dinner.
And somebody put that rascal on the head so he shuts up. Something needs to...
Hey, be quiet out there around Spokane. Hey, Spokane, be quiet out there. We trying to talk.
Yeah, classic radio roundup.
Well, you almost had to wait until that guy went to sleep in order to operate the radio.
Well, he's three hours behind us, so he won't be sleeping for a while.
By the time he's done dinner, we'll be sleeping.
How about that, Three? That's okay. That's okay. By that time, the skip conditions will be gone.
Yeah, what time is it out there anyway?
It is 55 minutes past the big hour of 9 o'clock.
No, I'm talking about in Spokane.
Well, that would be, 6:55.
Alright, yeah, it is time for him to eat.
Roger, right on. Cotton picking real.
Operator! Hey, what's going on up there? Just trying to get the mower going here, out in the garage.
No, what are you thumping? Lawnmower.
There you go. Well, hopefully you get it done. Am I making a fine trip up there or what? Yeah, you're doing a good job, operator. Doing a fine job. No, I wanted to get my Cub Cadet motor back together, and then my neighbor came up with his John Deere, and he broke the bolts off the front axle. So, of course, I couldn't say no. I fixed it for him. There you go.
Yeah, get the easy out.
Hey, Papa Bear. Operator Skeeter, downtown Pottstown.
Yeah, I was just wondering how you doing down there, Peter.
We still breathing down here, Roger?
Yeah, 10-4, what kind of pound you working? It sounds pretty good.
Just a little old Mark III, Roger.
And, I just wanted to see how you guys were doing down there. How's old train doing?
Night Train, you probably ask him yourself. Night Train, Papa Bear knocking on your door. Hello there, Papa Bear. Night Train is out in the Mobile making his way back to the home 20. Do you copy me, break?
So, Dad, I got bits and pieces. You said you're in the Mobile on your way to the home 20. Night Train just wanted to make sure you're all right, make sure it needs good turn down there. And I got some good news for you. Old Bernie's coming home tomorrow.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, man, it's got so much echo. I didn't hear all of that, Papa Bear. But I heard you say something tomorrow. He said Bernie's coming home tomorrow. Oh, all right. Yeah, man, I've been meaning to get back there to see him before he left. So he's going to have caretaker, Papa Bear?
Oh, yeah, he's going to have a caretaker, but he said he can't wait to get on the radio to talk to everybody.
Hey, Roger, did you tell him I asked for him?
Yes, sir, I told him, yes, sir.
Roger. Yeah, I've been wanting to get over there, but I'm too busy for my own self right now there, Papa Bear, breaker.
All right, Night Train, son, very good to hear you again. All you guys down here, Skeeter 441, all you guys take care. Over back to 14. Talk to you later.
Hey, Roger, good to hear you there, Papa Bear. I was thinking about you. Night Train, Mobile on the side around Philadelphia Outlet. Come back quiet.
Yeah, welcome to the neighborhood.
Hey, Roger, Dave, what's going on, man?
Yeah, welcome to my radio neighborhood. Alright, Mr. Papa Bear. It's sounding good down here. Sounding good there, Train. Howdy. I think you might need your finger to flick your meter back. 441.
Roger there, 441. And Sam Bagger, Peter Mark, Operator Ron, 24 days. Everybody's sounding good now that we got that person out of Spokane gone.
I hope his dinner's a good one.
I hope it's a long one. Doggone, Countywide, you're bending my needle backwards over here.
Just running this antique flea market $7 earn special. Cobra 142 GTL. Bigger.
Did you change microphones?
No,
He just pumped it up.
No, I didn't do nothing. I only have 2 microphones that work for this one. This is one of them goofy 5-pins. And the second mic is OOC at the moment.
Out of commission.
Hey, that was one of the most confusing classic radio roundups I've ever heard.
I hope that guy in Spokane has a good meal and plays night train after he's done eating.
Yeah, I hear you out there. I hope he goes to sleep.
Well, that's what night train does after he has a good meal. He lays down and takes a nap before he gets back on the radio.
Lately, I haven't been waking up to get back on. I might sandbag a little bit, but I'll fall right to sleep. It's like a lullaby, Dave.
Roger. Yeah, I just threw that in there. I'm back on the side.
Roger. Yeah, I just coming back from looking at a job. I had a long day. It's one of those night train kind of days. It's like old times, man. Only thing is, I'm getting old.
What do you mean, getting?
Yeah, man, I feel it now. It wasn't that bad, Dave. When you're up and down a ladder all the time and 20 miles on your bike, you're still in good shape, Kenwood.
That's right, climb that scaffolding.
That's right.
That's right. Motion is lotion.
Yeah, I think it helps keep you in tone, man. The fact that you have a physical job.
I know, but they force me, Train. They force me.
They did?
Yeah, they tell me keep moving.
Yeah, it's a little different now, ain't it, Sparky?
Well, we got a lot of competition.
Yeah, roger on that. All around, man.
That's right. Se habla español?
No habla español. No está bien.
No, sí. Cuatro.
Cuatro. Yeah, man, that's true. It's true, Sparky. They're everywhere. Sparky, we have to remain competitive.
No, I'm going to go to the local college down here and take Spanish, man.
Roger. Entiende inglés? No, está bien.
También. That's all right.
Yeah, they can talk about you right in front of your face, behind your back.
That's all right. Americans are up to the challenge to be bilingual. We can do it.
Yeah, it's rough. Well, the job where I am now, there is no competition like that. And the job before that was up near New York. They didn't have any up there either. So certain areas that they have not infiltrated. 10-4.
Hey, 10-4. Well, smells like work to me. And that, you get that steady job. That's good, Train.
Yeah, well, we needed it. It was time. We couldn't just stay down forever. It had to eventually
mostly industry. I mean, I take notice of the wallpaper and stuff when I'm in these new buildings. I'm in a lot of new buildings, and you know, they got all these cool patterns and stuff. Looks like woven fabric and everything, all kinds of cool wallpapers nowadays, texturized.
Yeah, that's why we call it wall covering. You know, because it gets off into textures, and that's the reason why we call it wall covering as opposed to wallpaper. But for some reason, we're still called paper hangers, huh? What do you think?
Old things take a long time to die.
You better believe it. I mean, they recognize it in the banking world as well. You know, insurance companies, when you carry insurance, well, what do? Well, paper hanger, and that registers. But some of that other stuff doesn't register. You just have to say you're a paper hanger.
Everybody knows what that is.
Yeah, you know that Adolf Hitler was a paper hanger? Did you know that, Dave?
He was a lot of things.
Yeah, but he used to be a wallpaper man.
He used to fancy himself a painter, and, you know.
You think I'm going to end up real evil, Dave?
Well, that all depends. That's who you hang around with.
Do you have a mustache?
I do have a mustache, but it doesn't curl up. 10-4 it curl down, Roger.
Alright, as long as you don't like make it too short, like make it real narrow, that wouldn't be good.
No, that won't look right on me. That would look gay, Roger.
That's right. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Don't go walking around in tan khaki-style military clothing either. That'll get you in trouble.
Unless you're in the military.
Yeah, boy. All of this is not wallpapering, man. Some of this stuff is paintwork, and some of it is removal of wallpaper.
That's always the pain.
Yeah, that's where my money is, though. That removal and restoration of existing walls.
Oh, yeah, because nobody wants to do that. You can make a killing.
Yeah, it's nasty work, man. You should see me. I could use a helping hand.
Yeah, just get yourself your little steamer and get it all nice and wet and scrape it off.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got one on me that's bigger than me, man. I got 2 weeks to do it, too, man. I gotta be out of there.
You need to subcontract.
Yeah, I don't know nobody that have insurance that I want to bring in.
Go hire a Mexican or something.
They don't have no insurance. He'll dig holes in the wall. You tell him to take the border down and he'll be hiding.
Take the border down. I'll be running for it.
Community Classic Radio Roundup.
Take the border down. I'll be having lunch in Taco Bell. Hello, Tim.
Anybody else that's out there?
Well, it looks like Spokane, Washington is gone now.
Yeah, he's eating his dinner.
No, I don't hear nobody else but us now.
And that's the way it should be on Classic Radio Roundup.
Yeah, what about that side band? Who was doing the side band?
Don't know. It's not still in there, is it?
No. tubes also. Yeah, that was an awful lot of power. That's the reason why he was interfering with us.
Yeah, that and the fact that the skip pathway was right there.
You know, I used to think it was a pleasure to make Spokane, but, you know, somehow or another they don't seem to impress me anymore.
Them are the kind of conditions in there tonight that give you a headache.
Yeah, Roger.
And then there's Dr. Demento.
Yeah, it was rough and tumble in there for the first hour, for sure.
Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be a great Watergate, huh?
Well, it's there, recorded for posterity.
Say 10-4.
Yeah, even classic radio roundup has its rough moments.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I started listening to you guys somewhere down around Golf Mills. And I shouted for y'all from Philadelphia.
Yeah, you gotta play the hand you're dealt, whatever it may be. Because it's just the way CB radio has always been.
We might have heard you in there, Train, because we kept hearing breakers and then, you know, they weren't getting back, so I don't know. You might have been one of the voices we heard.
Yeah, Sparky, he acknowledged me, but then he got lost in the trees. But, you know, I did hear him getting back to me.
I heard you when you said mile marker 331.
Roger that. That's right around Golf Mills. Yeah, Tim Roger. But it was just rough to hear y'all coming back because of that guy. He kind of got on my nerves.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I'm going to go to bed, so I'm going to say 73s. I know I ain't no good no more. I need to rest and get up and do this whole thing again tomorrow. There, 10-4.
Well, that's how you make money.
That's right. That's right. We got to make hay while the sun is shining, Roger.
Get you later, night train.
All right, have a good night there, Sparky, Dave, Pete, Operator Ron, Skeeter, if you're still there, cameraman.
See you later, Train.
Yeah, well, at least you made it for the part of it anyway, even if it is from the mobile. Catch you later. Have a good one there, Train.
Roger, Roger. Y'all have a good one. Train mobile clear and gone.
Catch you later, night train. Have a good evening.
Hey, Roger, Dave. All right, man. Good to hear you. It is, Aston. That you, Henry? I heard Henry in there waving.
Well, Louisville really is dropping out then.
I heard that, Aston. Station Henry. Did you copy?
Oh, Henry. Classic radio roundup, waving a hand.
Yeah, I heard Henry, and I hear some sideband action.
Yeah, still there?
Now I don't hear it at the moment.
Yeah, I heard a little bit in there.
Waving back at you. Yeah, my friend, we're waving back at you. This is Henry. We're monitoring through Cobra.
Oh, he's monitoring through Spew. Can't hear me live, worldwide. Gotta go through Spew for 41 countywide radio on this antique flea market Cobra.
Tiger. Have yourself a good day tomorrow.
Yep, about time I get out of here myself. And call it a night. Thanks for the fun, as it were, on Classic Radio Roundup 441.
Catch you later, County. Have a good day.